Hello guys, I have another video lesson for today. Um, I'm often posed the question about, say you have an agreement with the seller and they need to remain in the house after the closing date. I don't typically encourage that. If you allow somebody to live in the house after the closing date, you need to have an understanding and an expectation that if they don't have anything to lose, things may not turn out well. So the only way I would let somebody stay in there is if we have an agreement like this one, the addendum for possession after closing, and there has to be an amount that they're expecting to receive upon move out. So let's say that I'm giving them $1,000 worth of moving money. If but they need to stay in the house maybe 2 weeks after closing. Say that their new place isn't ready, and the plans call for them to move at that time. You have $1,000 move out money that you promised them, or I would have them if it's after closing, I probably would have it set aside by the attorney, and they can pick it up from him once they've moved out and given us the keys. The way this addendum reads is, due to the seller's request to remain in the property after the closing date, a sum of blank amount, which we're using in this example, 1,000, will be held in escrow at time of closing by closing agent or such other agent as buyer appoints until such time as seller vacates the property, leaving it in a neat and clean condition as defined below. Seller agrees to vacate the property within so many days after closing. In the event the seller does not vacate the property by the above date, a charge of blank amount per day will be assessed and deducted from the escrow amount. In the event the seller has not vacated the property within so many days, let's say 7 days following the agreed upon date, all monies remaining in escrow will be forfeited. The seller will then be considered a tenant in sufferance, giving the buyer full rights to evict. Neat and clean is defined as all debris to be removed from the interior and exterior of the property. In the event the property is not left in neat and clean condition, buyer will have cleanup completed at seller's expense and deducted from the escrow amount. In the event buyer is forced to institute legal action to enforce this agreement, seller will be held responsible for and hereby agrees to pay all legal fees and costs of said action. Date, the sellers, if there's two sellers, and then the buyer signs, if the buyer is you. I highly recommend that you have your real estate attorney include this in the closing docs and explain it to the seller. That way it's coming from someone who they see as an authority, and could possibly the person that you have following the eviction if they fail to fulfill the agreement that's listed. If you want a copy of this agreement, go ahead and click on the link. I'm going to add a Patreon link. You'll have access to all of the documents that I explain on YouTube, and if you're a member of the group, you'll have access to get them for free. If you have any other questions or comments, you can leave them below, or you can email me. If you're interested in real estate coaching or possibly consulting, I'm going to leave a link in there as well. Or you can email me if you've had any questions. Until then, have a good day.